Greetings and salutations, folks. It's Sunday night, so we're hanging at the Sunday night hang. Yep. Doesn't get any smoother after 5 years, 7 years. I don't know how many years we do it. Speaking of years of doing stuff, Lawrence and I have been talking tone for years. I'm just saying it right now. He's part wizard, part, I don't know, just guru. Sure. And part nerd, which works perfect for the rabbit holes that we go down. Welcome back, my friend. Good to see you.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. Thanks for having me. Hello, everyone.
Nice.
I am sans comments tonight, so I'll have to rely on you.
All right. Well, I can definitely take care of that. And see, who do we got here? We got a bunch of... First, we got Searching for Tone. He says, I will not be tuning into the show, or I will cut up my credit cards before it starts. Fair enough.
Yep, fair enough. Fair enough.
Well, I know there's a pattern because each time we get together, he spends money.
Yeah.
He doesn't regret it, but he does. Hey, we got Terry's 3Gs, and we got JP Page 2 was on last Sunday, and I know he's going to be eager about what we're talking about tonight because he's been trying to track down a nice drive-A for years. And so we're getting you close, even though he does know two people that have two, and it's not me.
Two that have two each.
Yes.
Interesting.
One is a certain fanboy.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And the other one, I can't even blame lifestyle choices because he doesn't partake in most of them. But he bought one when the first run came out, and then he bought one when the second run came out, and he went to put it on the shelf, and it went right next to the one from the first run. Oops. But now, yeah, so he can run them in stereo, I guess.
Yeah, right? Stack them.
Right? Next, we got Lee, L-Bar J in the house. Then there's Dave Chase. And then we got Billy Baloney. Terry's 3Gs again. Thank you for putting the links in there. There's Unfucking Believable himself. Good to see you, Chris. We weren't just talking about you at all, I swear. Richard Nagamitsu, Eston Ray, William De Silva, Hip Metal Works, Wayne McConnell, Arf, Michael Krause, Blue Mox. Ooh. See, scrolling. Ryan Hall, our Music and Law. Good to see you. Cushman, NYC. They're all just saying hey to each other. I get it. Who else do we have here? Greasy Monkey Guitars. They're searching for tone. He says, get your credit cards fired up. Yep. Well, not yet. Give it a week. Certain Friday, perhaps. Dastardly Dave is here. Martian Murray. 60 Cycle Steve. Guitar Man 45. Didn't throw him under the bus at all. Is that you, Steve? Steve Reeser in the house. Who else we got here? We're all saying hey to each other. Marshall Murray. Yeah, Ryan Hall, William Silva, Arf, Marshall Murray, Hip. There's Munch Michelli. McCollum Music. Jeff K. Patrick Treitz. Hey, Brad Guitar Miller. Good to see you. I just have an @ symbol, but I know that face. It's Benito Martinez Jr. I'm forgetting a name in there. There's an extra name in there, which I know where his nice drive-A ended up. Just saying. We did a thing one night where Matt from McCullough Music said, I can find any pedal. I'm like, yeah, good luck finding this one. Found one on Reverb. Snagged. And then I'm like, you know what? Being boutique that it is. I said, I guarantee if you open up the case, it's probably signed to somebody, and I know that person. Jose, Benito Martinez Jr. Haha, Jose. It was his. Which was hilarious. He says, you know, I'm like, I do, in fact. Great to see Jose in here. Matt talking about it right now. Bragging on it. He can. You got that and a Dutch. Same night. He says, these sound get stacked. I was like, yeah, I'm aware, dude.
Did he happen sorry, I was going to say, did he happen to say which version of the Dutch he got?
In between. I want to say black face panel, but 2 buttons. I want to say that. But then again, I've been wrong about stuff on occasion. I blame misinformation myself. No. Anyways, we had lots to talk about, folks. If you have a question, you put @ at the front. Your members stand out with a member milestone message, because we used up all those, I'm pretty sure, last week. So that won't work. Or you stand out with Super Chat. It goes towards, well, a pedal fund. Not going to lie. Got a shopping list on the go, folks. Haven't had one in a while. Then this guy decided, he's like, you need this in your life. And I went, oh, I do. Because I still regret getting rid of my 74. So I'm like, 2 birds, 1 stone.
1 stone, yes. Yes.
2-button, punch button, blackface.
Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah, with the punch rather than the high-low, which was what's on the blue. Same basic function.
Right.
Different name.
Which I'm not going to lie, that as I thought, that would be a very handy pedal for pedal demos. One, apparently, the Dutch is the Princeton of overdrive circuits, because, and I say that because a Princeton amp, you can plug any guitar into and it sounds good. And the Dutch will boost any guitar, whereas certain pedals like certain guitars more than others. And then I was thinking the only thing is certain times I want to kick it a little more. Like I'm demoing a Flying V or an Explorer or something, and a fella, and then boom, switchable high-low. And I'm like, yep, that's what I needed.
Yeah. It's handy.
It is. It is. Wilm, so 2 birds, 1 stone. Which one? Good one, Glass Man. Good one. So I saw you teasing that I know you had something planned for Black Friday, as you usually do. But there was a post, I think I saw in the Face Space, that you may tease a pre-order tomorrow.
Yes. Yeah, I think so. There was I hit Facebook and Instagram pretty good with the teasers, and got a lot of response. So I figure I'll probably put up a pre-order tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock my time, which is Mountain Standard Time. So, and then anybody who wants to get in before the official release can do so. And
I'm looking at you, JP Page, too. I was thinking, because I know he's been looking and he's been waiting. And well, thank you. We got a tip in the virtual tip jar. I'm not going to say who it is. He says, I don't have any questions. Otherwise, I screw up my NDA. So, guess who that could be? Thank you for the tip.
He's the only person that has an NDA.
I don't actually have one with Lawrence. He just uses my lifestyle choices. He's like, remember that time? I'm like, nope. Exactly. That's why
exactly.
It's perfect. He's bounced ideas off me. Later in the evening is better, he finds. I don't know. Call these things, but yes.
Super early in the morning.
Super early in the morning, also a good time.
When you're bound to go back to sleep and think it was a dream.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Matt says the Duchess's main boost hasn't left the board since it got there.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, really, really versatile circuit that one is.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds. I think it sounds. I might actually give it a nod to sounding a little bit better with single coils, but it's pretty close. It's one of the few that sound great with both.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I found, like, when it came to shooting demos, because I don't know what kind of guitar I'm going to demo until I literally go, well, I like that one on the wall, and then grab it. And I was saying, like, before, just have that extra gain stage handy like that. It really helps me for that. But also, I wanted the OG back on my board.
Yeah. The red one?
Literally, it's been the secret sauce of every demo for years. And so we made that happen. Because it pairs well with others as well.
Yes.
It's my in the middle. I have the embers before it, and then a placeholder until I get the Supernode placeholder. Yeah, I'm sure Robert Keeley likes that for one of his pedals, right? I'm just saying. Placeholder.
Well, he doesn't have to know.
And granted, he did knock the Noble circuit without actually playing an OG original myself, but I have an idea what it sounds like from various players, and his, set everything to noon. I'm like, okay, have you tried the 2 screamer side of the pedal? Nope, I've never flipped those switches once. No point. No point. It's there, but I don't need it. So now then I'm curious because that's one of those circuits. I find interesting. There's a pattern with us, Lawrence. I beg you to make a modified of something that's well known, and you're like, I don't like doing clones of stuff. I'm like, okay. And about 3 years later, it comes out, and by the time it's out, going, hey, you said you wouldn't, and then you did, and which is fine. I'm just saying, because the world needs your take on most circuits, and as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I don't. I don't like doing straight clones.
Yes.
If it's worthy of being a straight clone, it's not worthy of being cloned, right? It's good. The original is good enough.
Exactly.
It's like,
But you do the thing that because I'm like, I wish I had a bass control, and then that's kind of you be able to snug one in without it being obvious, per se.
Yeah, and it's not. So like the bass control that they did on the actual Nobles version, I guess it's the second or third version. They did some kind of bass control on it, and then
which is you turn it all the way off. I'm thinking because
that
was
a lot of bass,
notoriously dark.
Yeah, a lot of bass. Who's then the guy, the original designer of the Noble circuit? He has one that he does, but it also has the bass control on both of those is pre-clipping. And mine is not. Mine is post-clipping. So
I like that.
Yeah.
And Matt, yes, he says Ben can vouch. Dutch does a thing with a Gretsch and a Princeton. It does. It does.
Yeah.
It's very Gretsch friendly.
Yeah. Nice, and it's got that cool low mid growl to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very nice.
We got a question from Lawn Dog, and I like good welcome. He says, Lawrence, tell us about your top 3 best-selling pedals and what type of sound are people striving to hear from those pedals?
Okay, so the number 1 would be the 87. That one, that one has been the number 1 for probably about 5 years now, something like that. I think there's a fairly decent 80s resurgence that's been happening.
Thank you, Michael Nielsen.
Right? Yeah. Michael really helps that out quite a bit. He keeps us all in buying the gear that we used to have that we don't have anymore.
I keep forgetting I need a Bogner in my life until he's like, remember this? I'm like, yes.
Right.
Which, I haven't hit you on that one yet. We need a Bogner in a box. I'm not sure how that works exactly.
Yeah, that would be that Mach 1 Limited that I did a couple years ago.
Touche.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, the 87, and most people like that one for the high gain stuff.
Yeah, it seems like if I see it on someone's board, chances are, that's their red channel, high gain. When I need to like take it to a whole other universe, not a different level, even.
Yeah, which is fine. I think what I'll probably end up doing is making the exact same circuit and without the red channel, and then put like a limiter on the gain control so it doesn't go past noon, right?
Right.
And call it some kind of blues pedal, because the green channel in like between like 0 and noon is fantastic for low gain.
I don't think I run that much past noon, because I on the Deluxe I got on the green side with the bright off, and that's my Malcolm in a box.
Yeah,
just that little darker, because no one's going to put a super bass in a box, folks. I'm just saying, and it's perfect for that. It's warm. It's does the thing, and then the red side I got set to crazy. Like, you better be running a tri-chorus with it. Well, stereo chorus.
Now, Ben, I know you said that no one's going to put a super bass in a box, but okay, that's all I can do. All I can say.
Good. See, and I was going to throw a couple curveballs tonight, like a couple ideas I've come up with. Like, are we going to see a 900 in a box?
I don't know about the 900 because so for me, the 900 and the Silver Jubilee are not terribly far apart.
Okay.
Circuit wise, they're really, really similar. I guess it depends on the model of 900. Mm-hmm. The almost all tube, or I guess they consider it all tube 900, which is, I guess it's the 2550 or the 2555. I can't remember the model number. It's a 900, but it's all tube, and it has the same diode clipping circuit that the basically it's the same amp as the Silver Jubilee, but it doesn't have the silver Tolex and the chrome faceplate, but it's basically the same amp. So that circuit it's okay. It was never really my favorite. But if I was going to do one, it would be that one. It would probably be either 2550 or I think that's what the model number is on that one, or the Silver Jubilee. Probably not just straight 900. That's not so much
the
my
Kerry King edition. Do a bunch of tribal work. No, don't. don't. Richard Nagamitsu asks, why isn't the Dutch available on a regular basis? It's like the McRib. It comes around once in a while. We all get really happy and excited.
And then it goes away again.
It's the McRib of the pedal industry. I love
it. Yes. That's a good question. I guess I can, all I can say is that I like to keep some things just to throw out there every so often, I think my main consideration for any of that is if I go on, because I'm on Reverb all the time, right? Mm-hmm. And if I do a search for one of my old pedals and nothing comes up, if it goes like that for like 6 months and there's literally nobody is selling one, then I'll consider bringing it back for another run. Just, mm-hmm. Just so if any, especially if I'm getting feedback from customers that are like, hey, do you do this anymore? When's the next one going to be? Or, something like that. Then I'll run it again. The big thing is I have to make sure that I can sell a minimum quantity of them before I can run them. So the interest has to be at a certain level before doing it. Mm-hmm. Let's see. So the 87, right? That was number one.
Yep.
The second one, let's say this year.
Okay.
All time, it's hard. I would have to look. I think the 87 is probably number one all time. The JMP 79 has really sold very, very well since it was introduced in March. It's running neck and neck with the 87 this year. So that's actually fantastic.
I've been debating that one as well. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's a great pedal.
And I'm not gonna lie, the timing of that was interesting because there was a lot of JMP talk around that time, I remember. And I was just like, wait, you're bringing it out. I was like, well, that's good. And I know there's a lot of leads. It's not like all of a sudden, I'm just going to pull up. Well, as soon as everyone's going to talk about it, and 3 weeks later, it's on the market. It doesn't work that way, folks.
No, it's funny. The universe, there's something to the universal hive mind, right? The universe kicks out ideas to whoever is being receptive. And like, I had no idea that Marshall was going to release their run of pedals at NAMM.
Right.
I had no idea.
That was well kept secret.
Yeah. So, I was like, well, there's that. I hope mine does okay because, they released theirs like 2 months before. But the thing was, they released them, but no one could get them.
Right.
Right. It was like, yeah, we're releasing these things, and then
Man, they were sold out immediately.
I don't think stores got them until the middle of the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, the JMP it sold really well in March, April, and May, and then was pretty quiet. And then Michael Nielsen did his video with it.
Right.
1st of October.
Okay.
Something like that. First week of October.
Then, in theory, there should be a bump.
Yeah. Whoa, and it was my October was, I was buried. It was absolutely crazy. I think the 68's probably the next one, just because it's been around so long. And I don't know if everybody's aware or not, but January is the 10-year anniversary.
Wow.
Yeah. Which is a great segue.
Mm-hmm.
And I can sneak this one in. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it or not.
Hang on. I will solo you out.
Let's see.
With the X.
Right.
Well, we know we just sold one. Local pickup only. What?
So,
although I do get a kick that you do ship to Chris. When I'm like, pretty sure gas money's cheaper than that. But I also get it because restraining orders, and we don't need them camped out outside the house. And no, I'm kidding, Chris.
Well, that means I have to come out of the bunker. So
there is
that actually, there's a lot involved in that. Yeah. So. That one should be out.
He just put, damn it, LPD. I'm like, yeah, I told you, sold.
Yeah. So probably end of January, first through mid-February, just before NAMM, probably a couple weeks before NAMM.
Is it still a single channel pedal?
No, this was so if you remember the original 68,
there you go.
Yeah, 4 knobs, and it had the gain channel switch on it, the little toggle switch or a push button. The originals had a push button.
Nope. Just 4 knobs.
Just 4 knobs. That's the standard. That right. Was the second iteration. Of course,
that was like the last script logo you did.
Yeah. So, yeah, some of those were scripts.
Anyway, I got one left. I'm like, muzzle.
So the 68X is a variation on the original. Full tone stack, bass, middle, treble presence. It does have the 2 channels. Instead of, here, I can probably show you here. Instead of having a toggle switch, it has you hold the switch.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
I think that's digitals.
The switching. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And actually that's all of the switching has been microcontroller since everything went soft touch.
Mm-hmm.
So a couple of years now.
Yep.
Yeah. I took about 6 months to taught myself how to code, and then have been doing wonderfully fun things like, hey, press and hold, you get another function. Isn't that great? Mm-hmm. Or like the switching on the OKB X3. Right. The switch doesn't handle the signal at all. It just tells the microcontroller, hey, flip these switches, because since there's 3 complete circuits in there. Mm-hmm. There are these tiny little switches that allow the pots to control each one to switch in between. So when I flip that, or when the user flips that toggle switch to one side, the microcontroller flips 3 or 4 little switches in there to move it to the new circuit. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, and which that would have been quite difficult and space consumptive to do old school analog.
Yes.
Right. Without the microcontroller. So.
And possibly you could run into some noise issues.
Yeah. Yeah. Using a microcontroller like that, I can put the switches really, really close to the circuit, mm-hmm. and the control far away. And the control is usually what makes the noise. Right. The switch doesn't. So Yeah, that the having the last state memory, that's microcontroller code. So yeah, it's brought the designs along quite a ways, I think. And fortunately, it's one of those things that it does cool things for me, and it means that I can implement new and sometimes quite complex functions that are still super simple for the user to, to access. No, just
we were discussing that the other night. Like, I'm an analog guy as much as possible, but it's like I know Keeley now is essentially it's almost all digital. It's very little analog going on. The fact that depending on what program he puts into his pedals, it could be an overdrive or a delay or type thing. But as long if the tactileness is analog, like I'm flipping switches, that's fine. Fool me. I don't care. So like what you're getting into, that's the little nuances that's going to make for a better pedal, but for the end user, it's still going to be it's analog. Can't tell difference.
That's good. Yeah, I kind of do a more sane version of Chase Bliss, right? The circuitry, all the circuitry is analog.
Right.
From input to output, all the circuitry is analog. But because that in that realm is what sounds and feels the best.
Yes.
Right? To me, to the user, right? But analog, like in and even the knobs and everything, that's still all analog. The only thing that is digital are things that the user is never going to hear or feel or right. It just makes their life easier. Like the last state memory, right? Not having to always turn the pedal on. It'll just remember where it was at, and you're good to go. Being able to push and hold the foot switch, so you can now change those channels almost real-time performance.
Right.
The best I could do is 300 milliseconds delay, just because one foot switch with two functions, you're limited on what kind of input gives you the switch, right? In this case, it's press and hold. Double tap doesn't work very well. It's a great idea, but the problem is then you've got time windows that it's like, okay, if you have to double tap within this certain amount of time, and it'll do that function. Any longer than that, and you're going to turn the pedal off. Right. Then you get into it becomes more of a hassle. So there's no free lunch. You have to do what you can do with it. But yeah, it's the microcontroller stuff and the coding has brought some cool functionality in, for sure. Like, the last time I was on, did I talk about the router?
What? No.
Okay, so this is actually a very old design.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. The router, this thing is about 2 years old. I haven't released it yet because I don't really know how to market it. Right.
So it's a 2-channel looper?
It is. It's a 2-channel looper. So you've got your input, output, and then
in theory, I could stack those too.
Yes. So this was born out of the design of the switching matrix that went into the 123 and is also in the Supernode.
Okay.
This was the test base for that.
Hey, sis.
And then hey, Amanda. Then I also took this to the next step, right? Mm-hmm. So since it's a loop, and I can't guarantee whether or not both of these circuits are going to be in phase. That's what this phase switch is for. Mm-hmm. So when you're running in parallel, you can make sure that both are in phase with each other. And then, you've got A into B, B into A, and then parallel, just like the 123 and the Supernode. Okay. This also
I'm already thinking, it's great for the big phaser quandary. Do you put your phaser pre or post gain? And I can have one loop there with my phasers. in there, and you put one on, and I can decide, do I want it pre-gain or post-gain? Because the other loop could be my gain pedals.
Yep. And you could put a phaser in A and a phaser in B, come out of the phaser into a dirt pedal. So you can do this, right? You can build, right? You put it, and then you could go either way, or just phaser in one, dirt in another, and then flip them back and forth with the toggle. This particular version, I keep coming up with, like we were talking about code, I keep coming up with cool code. This particular one has a bypass mode that allows it to do, if you're running delays in here, it'll do tails.
Ooh.
Right? So
take that, gig rig. What?
You can do tails switching. I keep coming up with
I'm going to want like an 8-channel version of that, and instead of a gig rig or a Boss switching system, I feel like that,
Well,
like that idea.
and that it may never actually be released. I have 20 of them in a box somewhere, and I just can't figure out how to market them. I should just put them on the site with pictures and just
I think like it's not like a discount or whatever. Yeah, nerd area. It's a nerd tab, right?
Right.
And you go here. What? Yes, and just have all the stuff that's the small batch, the boutique of the boutique. You can have that in there. The parametric EQ. Because that's advanced user stuff. Beginners shouldn't touch parametric EQs. That's how you screw up your tone. Because how do I know? Ask me how I know.
Yeah.
See, of course, Chris needs one, so that's 2 pedals that Chris is already buying. Private stock. Ooh, LPD private stock.
Oh, there you go. The seller, right? Just yeah. I don't know. It may come out sometime. Who's to say? I've got what else do I have that I can? Oh, so with the 10th year anniversary of the 68,
of course, the bass player in the chat's like, I love me a good parametric EQ. Of course you do. You're a bass player, Rob. You guys want those on board in your basses. Let's try on board parametric EQ. What?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
They want 4-band and parametric for each band.
Right.
Yeah.
I never want to walk over. Yeah. And then, but what do you plug into for an amplifier? Oh, it's just straight power amp. Of course it is. You don't need any coloring from the amp.
I just go right to the board. Yeah.
He's like, that would be epic. Of course it would. Yeah. I run a DI. Oh, all right. Runs off like 3 9-volts in the bass. Because of course it's got active pickups too.
Yeah.
And a preamp.
So later in the year, so like with the 10-year anniversary of the 68, I think the original 68 drive was only around and available for about a year.
Okay.
9-10 months, maybe a year, something like that. I can't quite remember. Before I decided to split it into the standard and the deluxe.
Okay.
So probably towards the end of 2026, the anniversary edition of the deluxe will come out, and I can tell you about it. I don't have any here to.
It wasn't the original deluxe. The secondary was added to more of a clean boost into it, was it not?
Yes. So the
as opposed to a second circuit per se, which we know is most of the deluxe stuff that you bring out.
Yeah. The well, and that one actually had 3 in it.
Right.
Because it had the 3 knobs, because the 68, what I did was I took the gain selector toggle push button and I made a foot switch out of it, so you could performance switch that, and then added a independent clean boost to it. And since the anniversary will only have 2 foot switches, and it will have coating chicanery that allows you to, it still has all the same functionality, but it allows you to choose with the hold function what the secondary function of the switch is and which switch you want it on. Okay. So the left switch can be bypass or switching between the green and red mode. And the right foot switch can be the boost and or the switching between the green red mode. So you have that option, but only 2 foot switches. It simplifies it, and it's probably about the same width. It's the standard width of the Deluxe, which means you won't accidentally be hitting that 3rd foot switch.
I don't have a Deluxe Sandy sized package. Mine's upstairs on the living room board, because you have to have a separate board
in the living room for the living room. I had a decent number of people say that they bump that middle switch. So I decided since my coding had come up to the point of being able to do it, that I would implement it that way, and then build in user. The user can select what they want.
Chris just comments, so this means I go broke in 2026.
If I have my way, yes. So about the same time that one comes out, or a little before, this little guy will come out.
Because I always like it when you bring out a mini pedal, because you're kind of known for a lot. This form factor was a thing.
Yeah, it was the first. So
don't want an 87 in that form factor, because that just blows the mind when I see those.
There was I think I did 20 of those.
Right.
87 in the mini.
I haven't seen the one in ages, but I remember seeing them in the wild every once in a while. Like, oh wow, there's so much in such a little box.
Yeah. I was glutton for punishment with that, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, what is this head on?
So this is the boost from the 68 Deluxe.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
And the only it's straight same. The only difference is it's got a switch selector. You can program it to either be latching or momentary.
Okay.
So latching is obviously the normal.
A fan of your clean boost too.
And then if you want, it'll only turn on when you press and hold the switch. So
reminds me, I got to throw one of the boosts back on the board for old school reasons, just to make people's heads explode. How do I get that tone? I'm like, you can't within the time machine. Sorry.
So yeah, I'll have to do some work with the packaging, because my new packaging doesn't have anything to do with the minis.
No.
It accommodates all the other sizes, but not the minis. So I'll have to figure something out.
I was thinking like the gift box, like I'm seeing through the 3 mini pedals, like you open up like a drawer box. The reissue of all of them. After we put them all into one pedal, now buy them all separately.
Yes. Right. Now, I don't think I'll be doing that. Although I have to say, it's been a long time since I've seen any of the minis up on Reverb.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. And there were the Southwest theme.
Right.
I haven't seen those in quite a while. And the all of the Japanese named pedals, which were those are the original first minis that I did.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think I've seen one of those.
You're right, because that's pre me even finding you. And I remember, I'd see those even 5 years ago once in a blue moon. And it'd be like, and if it was like one guy selling 3 of them, because he's given up on life or something and selling everything he owns. Or Dan Crow, good to see you. He says, I'm holding all of my mini LPD pedals.
Yes.
Chris claims he played the Javelina today. I'm sure you did, Chris.
Nice. I love the Javelina. I don't think that pedal ever got its due.
That one never made it into my collection.
It's a great pedal.
Choya, which we know how that. Ooh, that Choya boost into a B15 Ampeg. Which brings me to my next idea of your foray into bass pedals, an SVT in a box.
I worked on that one last year.
Okay.
It's
also Keith Richards for years live played through an SVT, so the kind of a fellow wants to play a telly through an SVT in a box.
Yeah, it's I'm trying to decide on if it warrants being put in the larger enclosure, like a deluxe enclosure, because it's got quite a number of knobs. If you follow the
right,
And
do you do it a limited run as an LBD pedal? Difference. It's like, what? Yeah, it's for bass. Limited run. Nobody will notice.
Then I'd have to change the whole logo. No, I'm not doing that. Sorry. Can't do that. No.
Rob says, as a bass player, for an SVT in a box to be true, it needs to be made out of lead.
Right.
This is true. It doesn't need Velcro. What? Just the sheer weight of it will hold it against any pedal board.
That's it. And it needs to get extremely hot.
Yes. Yeah, it just runs a circuit inside. This is the thermal circuit just to heat it up. Why? Just because it's supposed to. It's mimicking the non-bias of the tubes.
Just have a big resistor that's dropping all the voltage, leaning up against the enclosure.
Yeah, perfect.
Why does the side of this thing get so hot? It's where the transformers are.
Yeah. They're small, but they're powerful. Honestly.
Yeah.
I thought about that the other day. I was watching a thing on Keith Richards playing through SVTs, and I went, "Ooh, who does that?"
Yeah. Didn't I thought Cattle and Bread did one a long time ago. Back when the original owner was still alive. I'm trying to remember the name of it though. Because, they got quirky names for all their stuff.
Right.
Yeah, it would have been probably at least 10 years ago that they had something that was
Steve has a question.
Yeah.
He's you're behind the time, Steve, because he says, Lawrence, will you do any time-based pedals like reverb?
Well, I did.
Mm-hmm.
I did. And actually, I think the reverb pedal was probably the most popular of the three.
Mm-hmm.
But
in all fairness, you did both an analog and digital delay, so that's going to split sales right there.
Yeah, the rival versus the offset.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I've been working on this pedal for probably 2 years now, and it's almost there, but it's so it's a delay reverb combo pedal.
Okay.
2-in-1. It is the rival.
Okay.
With modulation.
Ooh.
Yeah. There's a little trimmer inside. You can control the sweep, the speed of the modulation.
Okay.
And knob on the front for the depth of the modulation. It sounds really, really good. That delay sounds really good. I went with the shorter overall delay time on it. Just thought it was probably better for that. And then the reverb is the Cascade reverb.
Mm-hmm.
It's got the LPD switching matrix that the Supernode and the 123 have, so you can. Interestingly enough, I messed around with it. Originally I had it to where you could go delay and reverb, and then switch it and go reverb into delay, and then do both in parallel. And in actual play testing, I could tell no difference whatsoever with the delay in front of the reverb versus the reverb in front of the delay. So I eliminated reverb in front of the delay, and I just left. You can go series, delay into reverb. Mm-hmm. Or you can run them in parallel. Parallel is actually my favorite. it's great. You have individual control over both of them in the space,
Right.
so they're not influencing each other. That's, I don't know. I enjoy that best.
I haven't gotten into parallel stuff yet, but you're making it very tempting. Okay, that's fine.
It's one of those. Parallel is definitely for players who are more into subtlety.
Yes.
And the sublime, because it's not. You really have to pay close attention to it and like dial it, and I don't know, because since they don't directly affect each other by feeding into each other.
Right.
You have to dial them to be complementary.
Okay.
Now the 123 and the Supernode, both those circuits are already. I've already done the complementary tweaking to those, so you don't have to worry about that. In the delay reverb, they're two different things, so they're already complementary.
Sure.
But I could see, like, if you were running this, there are some things that you could run in this that would not be complementary. That probably would sound I don't know, strange or not so good.
Get that. I did see a question. Oh yeah, earlier Richard Nagamitsu had asked, with the amp in a box pedals, as we'll call them, can you run them straight into a power amp?
Yes. Absolutely. I the 87 and the JMP 79, both I regularly use direct into an IR box to record with.
Yep.
The 87, I will say this, the 87 into the effects return on a triple rectifier is pretty impressive. Like,
see, now we all need a triple rec.
Like heart stopping.
What's up, Eddie Van Haskell? Yeah, and I can attest, like, when I've done recording, I take my mini board, which is the living room board that has the 87 on it, and I just run that into, a cab sim type thing, which that's the guy at the studio does. And he's just like, what do you want for an amp? I'm like, don't need one. He's like, yeah, you do. And I'm like, give it a minute. And, plug into a nice preamp strip that he has type thing for an interface. And he's like, how's that sound so good? I'm like, and he looked, and basically it's all LPD pedals on on the board.
Yeah.
He went, oh, okay.
Yeah. Did you see the Tom Bukovac video of him using the JMP 79?
I have not.
So I had sent a JMP 79 to
how did I miss that?
Brett Papa.
Okay.
And Bukovac and Brett were working on Uncle Larry's new. He's got a lesson.
Right. And new course.
Course. Thank you. He's got a new course coming out, and so he was recording music for it. And one of the so Brett sends me this video, and he's like, Book's going straight into the board with the JMP 79 for this, and it sounded killer. And then they posted the video to Instagram, I think the next day.
Nice.
Yeah, so they do very well. It just all depends on kind of what you're going for.
We need to get a Supernode in his hands since he's Mr. ODR1.
Yeah, right. So
that's the reason why I bought that Keeley version. Well, one, you didn't have yours out yet, and it was literally Keeley had put out the demo video, and it was the outtake at the beginning of the video, and Uncle Larry's just noodling a bit, and he goes, "That one's mine, right?" And Robert went, "No, that's mine." He went, "Oh, I went, sold. I don't even have to watch the demo."
Right.
I'm like, if it fooled him, all right, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And Uncle Larry's got some ears, so.
Right.
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah, and as he says, he hates most pedals. If a pedal sounds like a pedal, he doesn't like it.
He doesn't like it. Yep.
This is true.
Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah, they work good going into power amps. I think myself, I tend to prefer going into tube power amps just because I like tube stuff. But I've got
You did a membership. Thank you, Amanda.
Yeah, nice. I've got an old Carvin stereo 50-watt. I think it's a monitor power amp.
Okay.
That I've used for a long time, just for random things that I run them through that. Sounds fine through that too. So yeah, I think they do well for straight preamp stuff. The 74, the JMP 79, and the 87. Anything that's got the full tone stack. And granted, the 68 sounds good too, but it's a little mid heavy. That one was designed more to go into mid scooped clean channels. So
I remember when I got the 68 for you because I held off because plexis and me, it's not good. I can't dial in a tone. And I remember I plugged it in and it was the first time I had a hard time dialing in a good tone on one of your pedals. I went, geez, Lawrence, you did it again because I can't fucking dial in a tone on a plexi. But then eventually I found sweet spots and okay, but yeah, I went, kudos. I'm like, can't dial it in. Fine. And that's when because I realized I'm an 800 guy for whatever reason.
Yeah, they're pretty opposites. EQ wise. Yeah, plexis are very much mid range. Mm-hmm. And 800s
I'm already all the mids. My hands are all mids.
Yeah.
Which is fun playing in a metal band. I'm just saying. Richard Nagamitsu says, what would I like into a basement? Ooh, well, it depends on what you're into.
But. Yeah. And what you're going to feed it. Yeah. I need more information.
Mm-hmm. We can get you there, that's for sure. So let's talk about this new boost that's coming out, for lack of a better term.
Yeah,
Friday. Yeah, this. So let's show this off. Check this out, folks.
You get
be on the mailing list. If you're not already, go to lpdpedals.com after the show. Sign up for the email list. So that is 3 old pedals in one, basically.
Yes. The three minis,
which I have 2 of over there.
Yeah, that's what so on the Switch there's an S, a C, and a P, and that is the Saguaro, which is the Klon type booster, the Choya, which is the Class A one, which is the one that we did the Nice Drive A on, and then the Palo Verde is a Fuzz. Yeah, I'm trying to. So the drive, I think the drive and the level are very similar, if not the same, as the Nice Drive A. The EQ is different.
Okay.
Yeah, I went with a.
Chris is interjecting. He says, "I'm not under an NDA at this point. This pedal is amazing."
Yeah, I told him
I unboxed it in front of me the other day. I'm just saying. He's like, "Oh, look what I got in the mail." I'm like,
"Yeah." When I shipped it off to him, I told him, "Yeah, no NDA on this one. It's coming out soon. No worries about this one." So yeah, it's got a full active EQ on it, 2-band EQ. With it's got detents on the pots too at noon. Yeah, so they lock in at 0. So. Yeah,
and I assume at 0 would be more or less how it was as the single knob.
Yes. Yeah, if you lock it in at noon in the detent, they're out of the circuit, and if you wanted it to be completely authentic, you would turn the level all the way up,
right,
and then that's your 1 knob boost, just the drive knob.
Okay. And
as per the originals, this makes all kinds of noise when you turn it.
Right.
And
we were talking about that the other night. I remember because I had plugged this for the first time. Something wrong with this pedal. You're like, no, it's supposed to do that. I'm like, I don't think so. Because my shitty pedals do that, but not my good ones. And you're like, oh, it does all these things. And I'm like, oh, okay, wizardry. All right.
Yeah, because it changes 3 different parameters as you turn it, and one of those is the bias of the circuit. Which anytime you change DC bias, it makes all kinds of noise until it settles back in. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Dan Crow says the Palo Verde is my most instant Hendrix pedal.
Nice.
That would be my Soleil Fuzz. Still dedicated to Brad Miller. Yeah, try it out. Let me know what you think. Yeah. I still remember that. Yeah. It was during Phil McKnight's show. We were talking on the side. I came in here, grabbed Strat, neck pickup, volume on 8.5, did all the tricks because it's fuzz that you're supposed to do that kind of tricks with. Plug in, it was like, yeah, just a quick slap of a chord. I went, well, that does the thing exactly. And well, and then, and dare I say some Stevie Ray in there as well, that's backed off a little more. It's like, oh, I mean, what? Fuzz pedal, and you back off the pickups to about 3 and it cleans up and you're like, ooh. Yeah. So I get it. This guy can build a fuzz even I like. Just like,
yeah, I was pretty late coming around to fuzz, to be honest.
I still don't use it often, but it's there. If anyone needs a single coil fuzz tone, that is my studio tool.
Yeah.
Now, if you do a big muff with an active bass control, then you got me solved for humbuckers as well, because that's what I got for humbucker fuzz.
Yeah, I didn't do. I didn't. The only I think the only big muff that I've done is the 2 Ravens, and that's Gilmore spec.
Yeah, but then it's like Gilmore. He doesn't sound like he's using half the gear he's using. Oh, I use all this stuff. I'm like, really? Because it doesn't sound like that when I try using any of those products.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
His hands, folks. Go figure.
I think he's got a fairly light touch.
He must.
Yeah.
Richard Musa says, when I get a new pedal, I start with everything at noon. Reason is that is what the builder is going for, with the ability to tweak depending on the guitar and amp. How does Lawrence approach?
Same. Yeah. Same. Noon should be... I guess it depends on the circuit, but that's what I try to build too. Yeah. Everything on noon and then to taste from there. With the exception of maybe drive and level knobs. But for EQ, definitely noon.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Actually, I just looked down the board, the 55. It's pretty much drive at noon, tone at noon, and then level to unity, slight boost.
Where do you run the voice and the headroom switch on that?
Up.
Up? Both of them up?
I think they're both up. Yeah, both up. And I may or may not be running at 18 volts. I can never remember. Because I know I meant to. But
unfortunately, Ben, that one will do 18 volts.
Yeah, that one will. Well, funny enough, the other night I'm swapping because of it's me. I'm swapping out a pedal like 5 minutes before Monday's show on the board, and I have what I thought was the direct out on one of the isolated power supplies. But for some reason, I have a line coming off an 18 volt tap on my power supply that's just there next to the 9 volt one, and I was like, "Why is that even there?" It's just asking me to put the wrong something into something else. Because at first I was like, "Have I been running my DoD phaser at 18 volts since I got it?" That can't be a good thing. So yeah.
Keep the magic smoke in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like testing Lawrence. So what happens when I plug an 18 volt power supply into a 87? He says, "You send it to me." I went, okay.
The old ones. You don't have to worry about that with the new ones.
You're welcome, folks.
I fixed that a couple of years ago. Designed a circuit where it
what's up, Ted?
just shuts the pedal off.
Dan Chris says, when do we get more LPD apparel? Need some new black T-shirts.
I had to make the decision to take them down. They sell okay, but I don't do them myself. They're third party fulfilled through Printful, I believe, is who they were fulfilled through. Starting probably a year and a half or two ago, they had eliminated the shirts that I liked the most,
Right.
which I think American Apparel were the shirts that I liked. They were really nice shirts. They were expensive, but they were worth it. Nice. And then I had to, have to order several other shirts to see which ones are going to work. And I did that. And then in a few months, they eliminated that one. They don't have a really good return policy. And so I just temporarily shut it down. I don't know. I suppose I could probably put it up for a couple of weeks before Christmas or something like that. If everybody's interested in grabbing some stuff.
You may need to partake in that since, someone put on some weight since the last time you got some LPD apparel. So, I lean towards more an XL now. Not a medium anymore, Lawrence. Just saying. I like my own cooking, apparently.
It's not a bad thing.
Yeah. So, still rock the toques. Actually, we're at the Water Buffalo meeting this past week. My sister was rocking her LPD toque as well.
Nice. Well, you guys are in two.
Where do I get that? Well, now you know.
Yeah, you guys are in two countries, so.
Yeah, and it's that kind of weather. Say hey to each other. Oh, Zach Thong showed up. Good to see you, Zach.
Hey, Zach.
So why don't we show the innards of this new boost? Because this, for you nerds, this is so cool.
Yeah, this is definitely nerd zone. All right, so you can't hate on me because it's SMD, but that's the only way it would all fit. So if you look closely, let me see if I can get away from the glare here. There are 3 groups of components, and each one of those groups is a complete circuit. So this, let me see, so that's the Saguaro there, and then that is the Choya, and this one over here with the germanium diode is the Palo Verde.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So it's literally, folks, 3 pedals in one. It's not like it's doing some algorithm to mimic another circuit or
no shortcuts.
No.
Yeah. No shortcuts or tomfoolery.
Literally 3 pedals in one.
Literally 3 circuits in one.
Yeah, because Lawrence does it the right way.
It was
sharing the components going on around here.
It was. I will say that when I had the idea, I'm like, I should just not do this. That's crazy. And then I'm like, challenge accepted. Let's see if
Whereas I'm thinking, like the 3-button deluxe case where you could have literally just put the 3 mini pedals in one housing and called it a day. But nope.
No, this one's a lot easier to use.
Saguaro never left my board from the day I received it. Mine only left my board because I stopped gigging. As soon as Lawrence sent that way, I found my lead boost. And it was perfect for that.
Yeah, it's a good. I like the Saguaro. It's brighter. The Choy is not. The Choy is big and round.
Hey, butt cheeks. What's up, Brennan B squared? Yeah, and it just happened. I thought, you know what? I'm going to put that on. But I put together a little pedal board to play bass for 1 gig. And I thought, just in case, because I don't know how this amp sounds. Maybe if I want to just push it a little. And I think I had it set to like a third of the way up, 10:30. And I kicked it in. And I went, ooh, because it took it to, it wasn't breaking up, but it was close. And my bass has a single coil and a humbucker. And I thought I was using more humbucker. Turned out I was using more single coil. Because the blend knob, it has a knob for whatever reason to go between. And it's reversed from what it should be, in my opinion. And as the night progressed, I kept dialing in a little more humbucker. And then it got gnarly. And then by the time we were playing the last song, my buddy had swapped out. Somebody else got up on stage to guess. He left it, and I had it full humbucker, and he's like, dude, from the washroom, you sound full Geezer Butler. It's fucking epic. I'm like, thanks.
Nice. I can see that. Yeah, I can see that.
And and then after that, I was like, that. And it was funny because I clicked it in at sound check, and a buddy who's a total gear nerd immediately beeline, and he stood right in front of me till the end of sound check. He goes, what is that? He's like, it's small and it's upside down, and I can't make. I saw it's a little thing guy in Arizona made for me.
Yeah,
Went, what?
You can't pronounce it anyway.
Yeah. He was like, what? Oh, he's like, oh, pretentious. I'm like, yes, I am. I also ran both delay and reverb on bass, which apparently you don't do. I'm like, I do.
Get kicked out of the bass club.
Right. Clearly that's a guitar player pretending to be a bass player. How can you tell? He's running a slap pack and some reverb. Why not?
It's there.
Exactly. Nobody complained about my tone. They all liked it.
It's not illegal.
Dan Crow says that's going to knock my superconductor off my board. I'm like, what's that? Does that make you sound like Alex Lifeson? And if so, what Alex Lifeson?
Yeah, that's the question.
Gibson into a Marshall? Or are we talking later into a high watt? And then whatever he was using by the end of the 80s. Who knows?
Oh, like GK? Is he using GK
stuff? Yeah. Richard Nagamitsu asks, what's your philosophy regarding the selection of parts you use? See, says
primarily whatever's going to serve the circuit. Yeah, I'll do like as you guys probably saw in the OKBX3 guts. That's all surface mount. No need for to get any other through holes stuff for that. It sounds fantastic with the surface mount stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And these days, stuff has come quite a long way towards catching up with the through hole stuff on what most audiophiles consider to be inferior parts.
Right.
They're making film caps in surface mount now, and just about everything. Just because they had to, right? Because the main driver of those parts is computers and cell phones, and they all have to be tiny, and so they were obsoleting all of these parts. There was a period that you couldn't. It was really difficult to find parts to build audio stuff with because the companies had obsoleted them, and they were quickly gone. Being built into product and not being replaced. But it's whatever serves the purpose, the circuit the best. I do through hole caps for most of the caps that aren't available in surface mount, that are in the signal path. Anything that's in the power supply, it's whatever works best in the power supply. Yeah. Sometimes I use what are supposed to be like super high tolerance or close tolerance things, components to be if there's a sound, a noise, I'm trying to keep the noise down.
Sure.
Sometimes I use components that are really loose tolerances because they have a certain sound to them. Right, which means that sometimes I'll have to go through and actually sort through bins and lots of stuff to get the values that I'm looking for, just because they sound a certain way.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And are you doing all the surface mount stuff in house, or is that something you're not able to do?
I do all the prototypes here, and once it goes to production, there's a company in Kentucky that does the boards for me.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So still U.S. Yeah, still all made here in the U.S.
Well, I only because I know a surface mount operator that's not like, oh, I got a new air fryer. It's not that.
Yeah. No. Those machines. Well, and you have to have room for the machines, and yeah, it's a completely different operation, which is actually why I have the good folks in Kentucky do that for me. Yeah, and it depends on on what it is too, right? Like certain designs I do half here, and they'll be half assembled by machine. Like the 87 is that way. There's a version of the 87 that still has the through hole caps on it. I think the newer ones, all of the film caps have now been manufactured, so they're surface mount. Yeah, it just whatever serves the circuit, right? As if at the end of the day, I'm going to play it, and it has to feel and sound a certain way, and then it has to be consistently like that. So whatever it takes to get it to that point, to where the consistency and the sound and the feel are there across with different guitars and amps. Sure. That's whatever that takes. And I mean, cost, I don't honestly pay too much attention to cost, as hasn't changed a lot. I mean, the tariffs drove prices up on stuff, but it's not, if there are like, so okay, here's an example. The ODR in the Supernode uses a Burr Brown op amp, and that op amp it's about 10 times as expensive as your average op amp, but it sounds a specific way. It makes that pedal sound
right. There's a reason it was used.
Right. It makes it sound and feel the way that it does, and so it's not. I mean, I could have easily used a regular op amp or one of the other op amps that I use for some other circuit, and saved a bunch of money or whatever, but it didn't sound or feel the same way. So it's got to serve the end goal.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
but I hope that's a good
it always goes back in my head to like when I got the Vermin from you, and because you're like, well, it's kind of my take on a Rat, but it's not built the same at all, like totally different components, but it's like kind of ended up at the same end result. And I took it over to Richie's place, and he plugged it in. And he goes, "Holy fuck! He built the Rat and changed all the shitty shit in a Rat into good shit, and now it's the best Rat ever." I went, "Yes." And he turned the knob. I'm like, well, he did that for me. At the end, it's the reverse tone thing, or filter as they called it.
Yeah.
It's true. That still comes out to play every once in a while. It does a thing.
That's good.
Dan Crow asked, has Lawrence ever considered doing a drive pedal with a tube?
I have. I think most everybody knows, but I'll reiterate. I designed and built custom tube amps from early 2000s till probably about 2008 to 2009 before I retooled that company into LPD Pedals. So my background, my building background is really in tubes. So some of the first.
Now I want to head from it.
some of the first pedal designs I did were tube pedals, not low voltage tube pedals, because I never believed that tubes sound that good
Right.
at lower voltages. So you have to build a special power supply, and there's lots of filtering, and then you have to make it safe with, so it's fused, because it's going to get beer or something spilt on it. And, stomping on 300 volts is questionable at best anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But so I did those, and I've got, there's several local guys who have prototypes of those. Would I consider doing it again? I suppose is probably the next leap to that question, or answer that question. I don't know. I know there are a lot of new ones that have come about in the last couple of years, right? Dave Friedman has ported a bunch of his stuff over into the pedals, and there's Crazy Tube Circuits actually did a pedal that has a tube in it, which I had to kind of laugh. Great guys, but none of their pedals ever had tubes in them until the most recent one, I think.
But they were crazy tube circuits with
crazy tube circuits.
That's why they're so crazy. They're so crazy they don't even use tubes. What?
Maybe I don't. I'd have to look at the market again and see if there's a desire for it, and what someone would want. Do you want just a tube booster, something like putting an extra tube or two in front of your amp kind of thing, or do you want a tube screamer with real tubes? Or
Brother Tom's in the chat. He says, I want a full LPD amp. Of course you do. And this is a guy, his daily driver's a 71 Super Lead.
That would be fun. I don't know.
I'm not saying the 25-watt lunchbox head would be perfect. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that, basically. And your take on a Princeton, I want that as well. And I have to ask this question on behalf of ARF, because it's the first time hokum has ever been used in a question on my channel. Okay. Are those new tubes just hokum?
I think they're okay. It depends on what you get and what you consider new tubes. That's the other thing. I mean, tube manufacturers
are NU, like the new tube.
Oh, I got you. Not new like NEW, but new. Yes, they are. The designs that I've heard that use them, they were okay. They're low voltage. They're that is Korg. Korg owns that technology.
Yes. I was trying to remember who had it.
Yeah, I believe those are repurposed neon type tubes. I can't remember. I looked when they first came out like 6 or 7 years ago. I looked at them and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I know they're low voltage. I don't think they sound anything like a 12AX7 or a 12AU7. So I don't know. I at the time I remember looking and thinking, wow, that's a little expensive to experiment with. So I'll just wait. And I'm still waiting.
Yeah, I haven't seen any other companies really jumping on board.
No, there was the tube streamer they did with the new tubes.
Right.
And I think there was one other boutique company I saw that did something with them, but I
haven't seen an amp with them.
Never really took off. Yeah, I think if I was going to build an amp with tubes, I would just use regular tubes.
Right.
Yeah.
They're round. Use them, folks. Just saying.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
We'll go a little while longer here, folks. This has been a great hang thus far. Tom, 100-watt non-master 1-channel, 2 or 3 LPD poos circuits in front. Ooh. Oh, so basically a plexi with a pedal board built into the head.
Didn't Ingve's amp do that? Ingve's Marshall did that. He had the DoD boost built into it, and I think his prototype actually had the pedal strapped inside.
Yeah, I can see that. It's like, okay, so we just run what, like an 87 into a tube power section?
Well, yeah, you could do that. You could do that. Or
do we make it 3-channel? We have your 68, 74, and 87.
Right. Into a 100-watt tube power section.
Right.
Sure. Yeah.
Take that, MOSFET 100 from Marshall. Which was not a bad hit. They enjoyed playing.
No. I actually think that Marshall's foray into the solid state stuff was pretty good.
I'm not going to say it sounded every bit superior to a JCM 2000. But I'm going to say it sounded every bit superior because I played through both, and the JCM 2000 kind of sound like shit.
They some of the MOSFET heads, though they weren't actually MOSFET maybe they were. I'd have to look at the schematic again. Yeah, they sounded pretty good. One of my first Marshalls, I had a little Marshall combo practice amp that was all solid state. Yeah. It was not, I mean, once I got around to playing Marshall tube stuff, it was like, oh yeah, it's not anywhere close to that. But
yeah,
it wasn't necessarily garbage either.
Mm-hmm. William De Silva's talking about old stock Russian tubes from the 60s. Who do you know? Got a friend in the Russian mob? Like, all right, sure.
Yeah. Well, it's like I haven't been able to find germanium diodes anywhere from, let's see, there's not too much I can say here. They came from Ukraine. Yeah. I can say that. There's no embargo against Ukraine. I can say that. So yeah,
we were brought into Ukraine from an invading nation. Here, by the way, deliver these.
Don't shoot that drone down. It's got my diodes on it. Yeah. So yeah, that's because there's still like bunkers full of stuff in old Soviet Union stuff. So it's getting to where that's the only place
my
there.
Latvian friends. Yeah. Worth a shot. See, Victor BB says Marshall had an amp that had a FET front end with a tube phase inverter and an EL34.
Yeah, that was the what was that? I can remember the faceplate, but not the name. On the right-hand side of the faceplate, as you're looking at it, it actually had the tube coming out of like some circular logo kind of thing. But yeah, solid state front end, tube, power end, like the PVs that did that too.
Right.
Which are actually really great sounding amps.
Music commands.
Right.
Even though you think in your head, well, I want the reliability of a solid state power section, but with a tube preamp section would be nice. But nope, opposite. Thanks, Leo. And especially back then. Like nowadays, it's not that big a deal. Back then, power sections were still kind of hit and miss. I'm looking at like every PA system that was tube powered.
Yeah.
Why were sets 45 minutes? Because the tubes lasted that long.
Yeah,
right. Got quiet and had to rest for 15.
Yeah. Well, and the big issue was there weren't power transistors big enough to do those wattages.
Right.
So, they were integrating as they could, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Tom says LPD 87 into a fry-up power station is killer for home playing, and it stays super tight and light.
Very nice.
This is our previous question from Richard Nagamitsu.
Yeah. Yeah, I recommend everybody to try the 87 and the JMP 79 and the 74 directly into power amp or into a DI box or directly into the console, and then load the IR into your workstation. Yeah, they sound great that way.
Mm-hmm.
I did quite a few clinics with an 87 into a 2-note cab M.
Okay.
Yeah, sounded phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. Let's see that. Nice. Let's see here. Any other questions coming in, folks? We've teased some good stuff coming out. Chris is already broke for all of next year. And he doesn't even know about other stuff. It's like, what other stuff? Can't tell you. NDAs. Just like to say that to him. It hurts his brain, and I'm okay with that. Although he is already enjoying that triple boost, and he's been rubbing it in about that too. Nice. And thank you, Terry, putting links to Lawrence's website and the Instagrams and such as well. Nice. Appreciate that.
Yeah,
Chris just wants to throw it out there. Oh, and in case you didn't know, Lawrence is a hell of a player. Yes.
I don't like being in front of the camera enough to show everybody that aspect. I probably should. I should probably do more demos.
I was like, a fella could shoot demos for his own product and sound pretty decent.
I could.
I'm just saying.
Could. Probably should. You know what? I've run out of this. I used to have a small space where I could do kind of half-assed demos. That space is now completely gone. I have no space to do any of it.
There is that problem.
Which means that I should probably fix that.
Like this, Michael Crow says the NDA, the nice drive, eh? AY.
A.
It's a really quiet, limited run.
It's a limited run no one can know about.
Yeah, zero advertising. Can't talk about it.
Can't take pictures of it.
Although that is, what is your secret drive? NDA. Oh. Yeah. Spend a ton on marketing for that. Just can't talk about NDA. That's all they say. NDA. We could get RJ on board with that.
Yeah. Just blur it. He can play through it. Just have a blur.
Yeah, it's kind of like superimposed in all this stuff, except it's blurred out. Not even just the logo, the whole pedal, but
the whole pedal,
just over the pedal. You see the Jackson, no problem.
It's all blurred out.
Zach Thom says, "I've never tried an LPD pedal. We're gonna have to fix that, Zach."
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm just saying, you live close by.
Yeah, I do have a Canadian dealership now.
This is true.
Yeah, Electric Mojo Guitars. I know they're a ways away from you guys. They're in Quebec. Yeah, Montreal.
Hey, Shep.
Yeah. Is that like a day trip? You guys could do that in a day trip?
Oh, they're not too far out of Montreal. Montreal's about 4 hours. 5
hours. That's a slog.
That's not.
I don't know. You drive 4 hours and stay for an hour and a half and drive 4 back. That's you're pushing
in a hotel.
Well, I guess so.
We're Canadian and we're cheap that way. I don't know. I used to drive 2 hours into Toronto gig and then pack up and drive 2 hours back.
All right. Well, I mean, they've got plenty. You could drive over and try them.
Good.
And it's just gas money.
True that. And then you feel obligated to buy one while you're there. Wow, we already spent all this money on gas, muzzle. It's not, I know. Yeah, I have a few you could try, Zach. Just saying.
Yeah, there's that too.
Yeah, he's pretty close by, and he's got some nice gear, and he likes his tellies. Can't fault the guy for that.
No, I recommend the 68 with the telly.
Ooh.
It's one of my favorites.
Definitely get your status quo on.
Yeah, that's it's a good sound. The 74 is good too. Oh, I didn't bring in the new. Here's another I can give away.
Okay.
I can tease. So the 74 standard is the last of the side mount jack pedals.
Okay.
And as of probably Black Friday, it will be top mount with a new circuit. The original was the same as the 74 Deluxe red channel that with the voice toggle switch up.
Okay.
And I've redone the circuit so that now it's the same as the red channel with the voice toggle down. So it's lower gain, it's more classic gain, and it's more classic voice. It's the mid range has been pushed up a little bit. It's very, very, very much more. Well, classic 74. Yeah. So yeah, and that one will come out probably this coming weekend.
Nice.
No fanfare or anything like that, other than everybody hearing about it. Now it'll just the photos will change, and the description will have a little note in it, and the price stays the same, and away we go.
The softest of soft touch releases.
That's it.
Like Dan Crow says, friends let friends try LPD pedals. Yes.
And drive.
I like that. That's right, Zach. He says, one of these days we'll have to get together. Sure, man.
Yeah.
I can pop over and jam. I know where he literally lives in the subdivision that was built next to my old house.
Oh, cool.
I know where he lives. Literally. Paul Leonard Ewing, what's up from Stompbox Deals?
Hey, Paul.
Fan, first time caller. What? I have gone to using a Friedman IRX pre, but I have it on the clean channel and use analog pedals. Sounds killer. And he was mentioning he was using his Mini 68 earlier today. Wow. See,
nice.
Long time, folks.
Yeah. Yeah. 10 years. And not too many of those. Not too many of the Mini 68s. I'd show you mine, but it is, well, pardon the dust. But
there we go.
Yeah. It was one of five. I think I only made 5 black ones in the push button series. Can't believe how much dust is on that thing. Anyway, yeah. That's what happens when you don't get to play stuff and you just work.
This is true. So if you haven't already, folks, go over to lpdpedals.com. There's a mailing list link.
Mm-hmm.
Join it. Good things happen.
Yeah.
Check your email in the morning.
Yeah, because that's where that pre-release for the OKBX3 it'll be there first, and then later on Instagram.
Mm-hmm. So I expect you've signed up by hearing from you tomorrow, Jim. Just saying. He's been waiting. So, and he's also building an amp for himself. He's quite the little amp aficionado himself. He's now retired, and he says, I got enough parts laying around here. I'm going to build myself an amp. Like,
nice.
Good. Just see what's going to be. He hasn't told us yet.
That's pretty much all I have for amps are the ones that I've built. I sold everything else.
You could probably sell them too if you wanted to. I'm just saying. I can just see you drop. Imagine if you dropped an LPD amp head on reverb, like just to see people like what that. Yeah. Most of the messages will be, is this real? Is this real? This can't be real. Is this real?
My email would have a meltdown.
It would. I'm just saying. The gear page would have a meltdown. 90% say, oh, it's all fake. It's all fake. No, it doesn't. No, it's never. Nope. No.
Haters gonna hate.
Haters will hate. Terry asked, is there a famous musician rolling around on tour with one of your amps then, Lawrence? Well, not an amp, but...
Possibly. I built a few. They would be under the Giru amplification name, not LPD. So, yeah.
Michael Chris says Bill Finnegan sell the occasional amp for $8,000.
Right.
So you just start teasing at the mini pedals again. Right? Just everyone's. Oh, another one popped up. Just throwing it out there, folks. Like, oh yeah. It's amazing what comes up from time to time.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, we could probably wrap things up here. There's one. My back is seized up again. Yay! 2 weeks with a bad back. Yay. Joyous. So, thanks as always for coming on, my friend. This has been a great hang.
Thanks for having me, Ben.
Coming out from the chat tonight. Chris says, again, I'm so broke in 2026. Well, you know, you're a completist. That's on you, dude. You know, I pick my battles, and unfortunately, when you do that, someone like Lawrence says, "Remember the Mach 1?" I'm like, "Yes." Did you get one? No. Yeah. Hey, Mark Spurgeon, right at the end. So yes, if you haven't already, check out the links that Terry's put out there. You know, it's a good thing to do. I'll be back tomorrow night with Canucks with Guitars, playing through some LPD pedals, because that's what I do. I'm looking at, you know, some right now. They're right there, down there. So hold the line, Lawrence. We'll talk off air. Thanks everybody that tuned in tonight. As always, hold those doors open. I don't know. Let searching for Tone in. He's searching for Tone. Let him in ahead of traffic. He'll search quicker. Although we know he just has to go to a certain website and, you know, take the credit card out of the block of ice. Brian, sorry. Be good to each other. Happy tone chasing, because, you know, karma is real. And of course, I don't have the button set up. There we go. As he talks a bit to make it all seem natural and professional. What's the? Oh yeah, don't litter.